Are you ready for some Venus infusion into your life? This upcoming week, we have all these really cool aspects from Venus to the outer planets, and they're happening sequentially. So we have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all Venus with the outer planets in sequence. And I don't know if that's as satisfying to you as it is to me, but on Tuesday, we have a trine between Venus and Uranus. On Wednesday, we have an opposition between Venus and Neptune, and that's when Mercury stations direct, no more Mercury retrograde. And then on Thursday, we get Venus trine Pluto. So all in order. It's just so satisfying. To understand how Venus is going to express these aspects, we're going to use movies. And those are movies from the 90s. And to make it more fun, I'm going to give you a clue so you can guess the movie before I reveal it. So that's the game. Before we get any deeper into this fun little game activity I have for us today to understand the Venusian aspects, I wanted to let you know that my latest book, The Trail of Love, is now available digitally on my website exclusively. If you enjoy the work that I do and you want to support it in a unique way that's sort of Venusian as well, you can find it there, elnatalia.com. I'll put a link in the description below. My first book is also there too, if you want to look at that, The Runaway Stars. Just want to thank everybody that's been supportive of that already, and it's just a joy for me, so thank you so much. All right, Tuesday, August 27th, probably my favorite. I love Venus-Uranus alignments. Personal preference. I just really enjoy them. This alignment is encouraging us to celebrate individuality, to embrace unconventional ideas, the strange, the weird, the wild, the beautiful, and it leads to more enriching and transformative experiences. So that's what it is in a nutshell. But when Venus comes to a trine with Uranus, it's really a lively time, a refreshing period, especially in relationships or in your creativity, or even your personal values. You're going to hear those three a lot because those are kind of the main categories for Venus. But when we think about a trine, right, that's the ride or die. It's so supportive. It's so joyful and loving. It's the Jupiterian energy. Okay, so here's our game. I'm going to give you some clues and you're going to guess the movie. Clue number 1. The plot centers around a business arrangement that evolves into genuine affection when the male lead's initial intentions were purely transactional. Clue number 2. The film's title references a classic Roy Orbison song and involves a transformative romance between an unconventional woman and a high-powered businessman. Okay, that totally gave it away, right? It's the 1990 film Pretty Woman, starring Julia Roberts as Vivian Ward and Richard Gere as Edward Lewis. I gotta say, I love Roy Orbison, I really do, but the penultimate, my favorite version of the Pretty Woman song has gotta be Al Green. I was having myself a good old time. As usual. What am I doing? In Pretty Woman, Uranus trine Venus is highlighted in the relationship between Vivian and Edward because Vivian is a street escort. I don't know. She's a prostitute. Let's just be honest. She's a street smart escort / prostitute. And Edward is a wealthy businessman, and they come from different backgrounds. Their relationship evolves into something that's unconventional, but for both of them, it's very meaningful. And they both bring unique qualities to the table. Vivian has a free spirit. She's a little unrefined. Well done! And Edward has a really structured life, so super refined. So creating this dynamic and an exciting relationship. They have a willingness to embrace each other's differences and help each other out and to learn from each other. And that adds some depth and originality to their connection. So that's Venus trine Uranus. Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Buy some diamonds.
Wednesday, August 28th, Venus opposite Neptune with Mercury stationing direct. Okay, so end of Mercury retrograde, 2 thumbs up. Venus is going to oppose Neptune, and that requires some careful navigation to be avoiding illusions, the rose-colored glasses, you hear that quite often. Really being careful about making decisions on this day in relationships, in your finances, or even your creative endeavors. Really, it's a time to seek clarity and authenticity while managing expectations realistically. Venus opposite Neptune is like a full moon moment in their cycle together where they're really looking at each other. And I think there's some clarity there. When there's an opposition and there's clarity, this could cause some disillusionment where you're going, oh, that's not what I thought it was, or oh, this is more than I thought it was. It could go any which way, right? It's just generally the theme that we've got. But it could be relationships, finances, your creative projects, your personal values. There's imagination here, spirituality, and Neptune always brings some nebulousness, some mist. You might start getting a realization of what's actually important to you, and your idealized views might be clashing with your actual situation. But with Mercury stationing direct, this is bringing a lot of clarity. It's moving forward. So things are going to start clearing up, even if this day is a little bit like, time for the clues for the movie. Clue number 1. This film is set in high school in Beverly Hills, and it follows a wealthy teenager who tries to improve the lives of those around her through matchmaking and makeovers. Clue number 2. This movie has a plot that is based on an inspiration from Jane Austen's Emma, and it has a modern twist because it's set in the 90s. There's an ant in my lamp. What are you doing in there? There's no reason for you to be in there. The movie is Clueless from 1995, starring Alicia Silverstone as Cher Horowitz and Paul Rudd as Josh Lucas. In Clueless, Cher's the main character, and she wears that iconic little yellow plaid outfit. She has this idealistic view about her social life, about relationships. That just shows this aspect really well, because at first she has a romanticized view about love and popularity. And then as the movie goes on and she's trying to improve everyone's lives by being a matchmaker and performing like these makeovers. There's one girl that she takes from nerdy to, I don't know, popular. And Cher also seeing that there's like these complexities of real emotions. She's realizing it. She's a little slow on the uptake, but eventually this idealism is, maybe she starts to see that full moon moment of her idealism. It's challenged. So throughout the movie, she's starting to understand her feelings and her desires better, and her view on society and expectations, and her personal growth is all tested, the whole story. But there's this clash between her idealized views and practical reality. That's a tension between Venus and Neptune. One slight aside on Clueless, because even when I watched it in 1995, and I was in high school at that time, I thought, what in the world? At the end, she realizes that she's in love with her stepbrother. Like, what? Really? Your stepbrother? There's got to be some boundaries. And maybe that's a little Neptunian Venusian as well. Like, girl, that's not okay. Thursday, August 29th, Venus trine Pluto. I really like Venus and Pluto aspects, especially positive ones. It's deep, it's passionate, it's intense, it's transformative. Okay, you ready for the movie? Clue number 1. The plot of this movie revolves around deep philosophical conversations and a romantic connection that develops over the course of a single evening. Clue number 2. This movie is known for real-time dialogue and intimate exploration of the characters' thoughts and feelings as they walk around the city. Before Sunrise, 1995, starring Ethan Hawke as Jesse and Julie Delpy as Celine. In Before Sunrise, these two characters, they meet on a train and they just start talking.
I have no idea what your situation is, but I feel like we have some kind of connection, right?
Yeah, me too.
And they decide they'll spend the whole day together and just keep talking and walking.
Great. So listen, here's the deal. This is what we should do. You should get off the train with me here in Vienna and come check out the town.
But over the course of one night, they form this extremely deep, emotional, intellectual bond. Their conversations and their experiences together lead them to some like really profound insights and an emotional growth. And this is just an intense connection. It's very Pluto-Venus, right? That transforms them over time. Despite knowing that their time together is going to be very brief, the impact of their depth, their bond together is really, it's lasting, and it demonstrates how deep and transformative connections can drive our personal growth to lasting change. There's a little bonus here. As I was doing my preparation, I was looking into movies of the 90s, and I kept finding 1995 coming up. Why don't we have good movies like this anymore? Apollo 13, Jumanji, Clueless, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Seven. Do you remember that movie, Seven? The Usual Suspects, crime thriller. That was such a cool movie at the time. The Bridges of Madison County. That was not in my wheelhouse at the time. I thought, man, they're so old. Who cares? Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep. Heat, a crime drama featuring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I haven't seen that yet. But Waterworld, remember Waterworld? Rob Roy, a Goofy movie. Sense and Sensibility, I remember that one. And Braveheart. Like, man, 1995 was killing it with the movies. Any which way that it goes for you this upcoming week, I hope you can connect a little bit to this Venusian and outer planet energy by thinking about maybe these movies as the analogies, these characters, like for sure thinking about the Uranian and Venusian trine with Pretty Woman, those two characters, like they don't belong together necessarily, right? But it works. That's the trine energy. Second, we have Venus opposite Neptune, thinking about Clueless and now realizing that maybe she was wrong. Maybe there's more to life than makeovers and hookups or whatever. And then the third one, the trine of Venus and Pluto. I mean, mwah, chef's kiss. Thinking how we can get so deep. Can you tell I like this energy this week? I'm into it, man. I am into it. I like you just the way you are, and I'll talk to you soon.